Okay, okay. Welcome again, database normalization with Papa Ian. So, what what we are looking at here is that the company has number of projects at the go at one time and several employees working on it. Employees does not necessarily stay for the full duration, but they join and required and leave when they are no longer needed. The employee is paid based on the salary that they are graded on. So I'm cheating a little bit. So I've copied everything into Excel. Just one thing that you will notice, there's a data issue here. So that's something that we have to fix. So this is what we call unnormalized data sets because this data set is raw. It has a lot of blank fields. So we're just going to go NF level 0. So it's unnormalized. So what we're going to do is that we're just going to duplicate this. And then we're gonna call this one here the normalized form level 1. So normalized form level 1. So what we're doing with the normalized form level 1 is that all the field must be populated. So it's very simple. Just need to make sure we duplicate all the field. There is no blank fields, right? So that one there has been normalized level 1. So that is something that we can say it's done and dusted, and then we can go and we can start to think about primary key because the project, so based on the description, they highlight project and employee here. So what I am thinking here is that the project code is definitely going to be a primary key because it is important, and then the employee number is also a primary key. So using these two, we then can, so these two column here, so let me see if I can highlight them. So these two column here, that column and that column, then identifies the this column here. So that identifies the when they joined the project and how many months they've been allocated. So that's already something that you can definitely look at. That what we need to adjust in here is that on the normalized level 2. So let me just move and copy that one. So normalized level 2, we need to start to identify things that if it's missing from this table, it's fine. We're not going to worry about it. So for example, column B here, it's fine for the column B to disappear entirely. So what we can do here is that we can take this and then we can move it. So I'm just going to move it here to the right so that we don't impact the column. So we can definitely move this out of side. And what we can do is we can then take out column B completely. And that still doesn't break the data set. And then what we can use is that we can link that to get the project description. So that still works. And what we need to do in here is that we need to remove the duplicate field. So let me just slowly remove them. So that one is not required because that's a duplicate. Then the S3 is also not required. So that is now unique. So this field is now unique, and then that helps to describe that. Of course, you can guess as well. So the employee information here, so the pay grade and salary is also part of the employee information. So this column here, all of them can go as well. So let me just copy and put it down here. Oh, I need the column. It doesn't take the column with me. So let me just move, copy with the column. And we can take out this column completely and that will still work. Right, so this is the normalized level 2. And then what I need to do in here, I need to identify duplicates. So Tom can be taken out Andrea can be taken out because they are a duplicate. Okay. I'm just going to highlight them. The reason why I want to highlight them is that this will help us with normalized form level 3. Okay. So that's the duplicate. So we got 12, 56, 60, 25. So they're all unique, and this is all unique. Now, what we're going to have next is that, so this is on level 2. So with the level 2, we're going to end up with 3 tables or 3 database tables. So we're going to have this as the primary table that holds the important information that we need. This one is the secondary table that help explains the project code. And this is the third table that help explains the employee. So that's all good. So now these two fields, we cannot break it out even more into a separate table because they are dependent on the primary key. Like if you move this into a separate table, it doesn't make sense. Similar to how many months is being allocated if move it to a separate table, it doesn't make sense. So the question here is that, okay, we still need to do normalized level 3. So what is normalized level 3 gonna look like? So what we're going to do in here is that we're gonna go and do this one here. So rename, so this is level 2. Oh, wrong number, rename, that is level 2. And then now we're looking at normalized level 3. So the normalized level 3 is actually not on this table, but is actually on this table. And the reason why it's actually on this table is your salary and pay grade. Because what they're saying is that the salary is depending on the pay grade. And then the pay grade can be a duplicated field in here as well. So what we can do in here is that we can take out the pay grade and salary and then create it as a separate table. And then we can hide this column completely. And the reason why I'm keeping this row for now is that this row is supposed to be disappearing on level 2, is that I just want to show that there's a lot of duplicates item in here. So that's why we separating. So maybe if you have duplicate information, it is a good idea to start to think about maybe this information can be split up. So if you go back to normalized level 1, you can see that there's a lot of duplicated information here. So that basically started to say that, maybe this is primary key and maybe this can be normalized level 2. Similar with the employees, when you start to have duplicate information here, you can start to ask the question, maybe the employees here should go into the separate table as well. So that's how we end up with level 2, where we take out the projects and the employee on the separate table, and we maintain the primary key. Then we go to level 3. All we're looking at is this one here, which is also duplicated information, and that's why we have it separated in here. I hope it is a clear as mud. As always, if you have any questions, just post a question and ask Ian, and then we can have a look together. Thank you and good luck, guys.
So surely you will be wondering like why the heck am I need to do this database normalization project and everything, like why the heck is this important? The reason why database normalization is important is that once you finish normalizing your database, then you're gonna come into your ERD or entity relationship diagram. Relationship diagram. So what do you mean by that? Why do we end up in the entity relationship diagram? Well, once we normalize everything, we can start to describe. So what we have in here is that we have our first table, which is the project code, employee number. So let's just pick this one up. Okay. I'm just being lazy, so I'm just do. Let me see if I can transpose. There you go. Aha, that looks so cool. That's a nice trick, isn't it? So Control X, and then we just do paste specials. I think, okay, cool. So that's the primary table that we have. That is so sucks. So I don't like it. All right, let's try this again. My bad. So we got the project code and employee number. Employee number. And then we generally, anything that's primary key, it's normally hard set as a bold in the thingy. And then we have date, join project, and months allocated to project. Okay, so date, join project, months allocated to project. So this is one table in our database, and then what we can do, we can give it a title. So let it make it capitalized. Let's just call it project allocation table. So that is one database. So I think you normally describe the database. You put a box around it. Where are you? I just need to do outside borders, and then you highlight this. So this is your first table, right? You have project allocation table. Let me just delete a few columns so that it goes back to the center. So that's the first table. So then we have a second table, which is the project description. So we can do in here, we can do project code, project name, and then we can put other details in here in the future. So let's give it a name called project table. Project table. And expand this and do a box, and then so that's the second table, right? And then the next table we need is employee number, employee first name, last name, and pay grade. So let's just go in here, and then let's go employee number. Oh, sorry, bold primary key. So we have here employee number, first name, last name or surname, pay grade, right? And then that one is bold. Expand it a bit. Make it box. And then in here we call it employee table. All right, so I'm gonna move this up a bit. And then we have one more table that we need to do, which is the pay grade table. So we got pay grade, salary. So pay grade, let's do make it a primary key. So we just go pay table. So that is what your ERD will end up. Sorry, what is your normalization will end up. So when you normalize everything, then you're gonna end up with a table like this, right? So once you end up with this, then you can do your entity relationship diagram. If I can find it, um, where is my lines draw? So in here, then you have project. So one we can say in here is that from project allocation code. So that one is linking to that. And then what we can do in here is that one project here can be allocated to many of the project allocation table. Yeah, that will work. Similar to here, employee number is linking to here. I think so the employee, one of the employee can allocate to many project, And then this one here, one employee can only have one pay grade. And that's your ERD. And that's how you end up with ERD by doing database normalization. I hope that helps and explain why do we even do normalization. What is the end goal? And this is the end goal. Hope it's clear.